Alright, just thought I'd post a video of my setup here. Running the VMware ESXi hypervisor on my desktop here. It's got a quad-core Intel E8300 or whatever it is. I'm not sure. 4 gigs of RAM, 4 500 gig hard drives, a 60 gig solid state drive, and ESXi is booting from an SD card. 2 gigs, very standard. It's all it takes, not much. I did have to get a special NIC because there's a compatibility guide list online. You can check that out. There's a lot of Broadcoms. They have a lot of compatibility, just not with Realtek or D-Link, and in fact there's none for them. But check it out if you're into this and looking to go virtual. Right now I'm doing a P2V, physical to virtual, on my old OS hard drive. I made an Acronis image of it first, and there you see the TIB extension for that source. That's the Acronis image extension. That's the file sitting on a hard drive here in my docking station. It's on that 320, and that smaller 80 gig is a mirrored clone of the original disk, which was the solid state drive that's now sitting in the tower. I put the solid state drive in there and created a data store. And when you make a data store, it formats it, so it's good to have a backup, good to have a clone. So I made that 80 gig there, a clone of the original. And as I mentioned before, the image made by Acronis of that original SSD is sitting on the 320. And I'm using VMware Converter, vCenter Converter, standalone, to convert that image off that big 320 gig drive into a virtual image. So it's going from Acronis TIB to VMware VMDK, I believe. And it's actually doing this straight over the LAN and putting it right onto my VMware hypervisor. So as you can see, that blue hard drive light is blinking on the hypervisor, and this light here is blinking as well, and the drive access to that hard drive. At first, when I tried to convert this, it wasn't doing too well because I chose version 8. There's an option to select which VMware version you'd like to use when you're creating this virtual machine. And that's essentially what this is doing when it's converting it from an Acronis image to a VMDK or a virtual machine. This converter works wonders. It's amazing. Of course, it's free, and like everything else here, the hypervisor running on the desktop is free. ESXi 5.1, I believe. They have a newer version, 5.5. I just haven't upgraded, so I think all you have to do is make an account, and you get to download any version you want. So what you use to connect to the hypervisor down here is called vSphere Client, and when you connect into it, it looks like this. Shows you all your resources, what you can do, and what you can make. There's a little tasks list here for all the procedures you've done and things you've changed. This is a list of virtual machines here. Obviously I only have one. It's currently being created by that converter down here. So you can see it's about 13% of the way done. And I could probably go through the process of creating a new virtual machine by clicking that button. brings up a very easy to understand wizard that walks you right through how to do it. Just create a new virtual machine, choose a name, choose which data store you'd want to put it on. These are essentially volumes in the hypervisor world. Windows, Linux, whatever. You can choose whatever operating system. I don't think this really matters. It's just probably for drivers or something like that. Which NIC do you want to use? I only have one that is available because it's the only one compatible with the hypervisor. As I said before, I had to get a special one. I got the Broadcom Net Extreme 5900 something, 5908 or 5308 or something like that. My onboard obviously doesn't show up here just because it's not compatible. You go to the next, you can choose how much disk space for that data store you want to give to this virtual machine. You can provision it lazy and eager and thin. I'm not sure exactly what each of these are individually. I know that one of them doesn't actually dedicate the space. It does make it available, but it doesn't dedicate it solely to the virtual machine. It still leaves it available for all virtual machines if they need it in the future. So I would imagine that's lazy just by the name, but I don't know. You're gonna have to look that up. And that's it. Just click finish. Edit settings. You're gonna want to go in and you want to change video to auto detect. And that's about it. I like to remove the floppy drives. And then from there you just add whatever you want. If you have a USB drive or something like that, you would choose USB device, USB controller, possibly. That might be for like SD cards and stuff. If you added another NIC on there, you'd want to go here and add it. And that's about it. That is just about it. You can change it if you have a quad core. This isn't showing correctly for whatever reason. I think I have a setting wrong in BIOS, but it should show like 4 available cores, and I've got 4 gigs of RAM, so it's using all that. So yeah, that's about it. Create a data store. You have to go to the root host up here, up at the top. Don't click any of the guests. The root host, that's where you're going to start off when you log in, but in case you get lost, that's where it is. Go to configuration and storage. When you first start out, it's going to have a big message here saying, hey, you have to create a data store or you can't do anything. So that'll be easy. It'll just have a little link. You just click like that. And yeah, make your data store out of all your drives. If you want, you can right click and extend the original one, or expand. I think you just go into properties and increase. So I've right now three of these 500 gig drives connected, and they're all in one data store. I just hit increase. It gives you a list of available drives. Obviously none are available right now. I'm using them all. I did say I have 4 plugged in here, but I had to unplug one because I wanted to put that SSD in here, and I'm completely maxed out on the 4 SATA ports, the mere 4 SATA ports on my motherboard. So till I get a better rig, this is what it is. And yeah, mess around with this stuff. It's super cool. It's free. It's fucking awesome. Alright, take care, guys.